Catabasis. The root of the chestnut tree sank into the ground just beneath my bench. I couldn't remember it was a root anymore. Words had vanished, and with them the meaning of things. The chestnut tree pressed itself against my eyes. Green blight covered it halfway up. The bark, black and swollen, looked like boiled leather. My nostrils overflowed with a green, putrid odor. In vain I tried to count the chestnut trees, to compare their height with the height of the plane trees. Each of them eluded the relations in which I tried to enclose it, isolated itself, and overflowed. Of these relations, which I obstinately maintained in order to delay the collapse of the human world, of measurements, quantities, directions, I felt their arbitrariness. These relations no longer bit into things. I, too, was superfluous. I was afraid. Even now I'm afraid that it might catch me behind my head and lift me up like a wave from the depths. Beneath me there I touched the thing, this great wrinkled paw, this long serpent dead at my feet, serpent or claw or root or vulture's talon. A circle is not absurd. It is clearly explained by the rotation of the segment of a straight line around one of its extremities. But neither does a circle exist. This root, in contrast knotty, inert, nameless, filled my eyes. In vain I repeated, "This is a root." It did not take hold any more. That root, with its colour, shape, its congealed movement, was beneath all explanation. I felt the word deflating, emptying of meaning with extraordinary rapidity. Black? The root was not black. There was no black on this piece of wood. I had already scrutinized innumerable objects with deep uneasiness. I had already tried in vain to think something about them, and I had already felt their cold, inert qualities elude me, slip through my fingers, that black against my foot like a bruise or a secretion, like an oozing, melted into the smell of damp earth, warm moist wood, into a black smell that spread like varnish over this nervous wood, in a flavor of chewed, sweet fiber, overflowed sight, smell, and taste. I was there, motionless, paralyzed, plunged in a horrible ecstasy. I was the root of the chestnut tree. Time had stopped, a small black pool at my feet. The black stump did not move. It stayed there, in my eyes, as a lump of food sticks in the windpipe. What effort it took to raise my eyes! Did I raise them? Rather, did I not obliterate myself for a moment in order to be reborn in the following moment with my head thrown back and my eyes raised upward? The wind was shaking the top of the tree. All these trifling agitations, each of them asserted themselves. They overflowed the leaves and branches everywhere. They whirled around these dry hands, enveloped them with tiny whirlwinds. The wind existing had just lighted on the tree like a huge fly, and the tree was shuddering. I was nowhere. I was not surprised. I knew it was the world, the naked world revealing itself all at once, and I choked with rage at this gross, absurd being, this flowing lava. In the midst of the world, eyes wide open and alive, I shouted, "What filth! What filth!" And I shook myself to get rid of this sticky filth, but it held, and there was so much. I suffocated at the bottom of this immense weariness, and then, all at once, the park emptied, as through a great hole. Nothing was left but the yellow earth around me, out of which dead branches rose upward. Sartre. Nausea.